And we're off! Brand new basketball season. Ted Alexander, Dennis Wolf, Monarchs and Virginia Wesleyan to kick off a new campaign.
And it started the right way for the Monarchs. They didn't look great, but they looked good enough for the first night.
Dennis, you were a coach for a long time. You got 9 new guys. You're trying to get everybody in the mix. How difficult is it, and how long does it take to figure it out?
Well, I think Jeff answered that, when you asked him on the postgame, Ted. I think it's going to take him a little bit of time. He got 10 guys in by the 10-minute mark, which is not an easy thing to do as a coach. So now he's got to figure out when it's a little bit tighter game and you're rotating the guys in and who's going to get what minutes. It gets a little more complicated.
Early on in this one, Bryce Baker was on fire from beyond the arc, had a career-high tying 12 points in the first half, and that's really what they'd like this offense to look like.
Well, he's clearly the best outside shooter, so I think, the other guys are more dribble drive guys, and if he can, pick his spots and get to an open area and they find him, I think he's going to end up shooting a very good percentage during the year.
Is it safe to say this team wants to run and turn defense into offense as quickly as possible?
I think it's safe to say that, and I think they're going to need to do that, Ted. I think generating early offense is going to be important for them.
Now, when it comes to the defensive end, there were signs when they really shut down the Marlins. Other times, not so much.
I think, again, the individual defense is pretty good. I think, Vashon, Chauncey, Tyrone, Emo, they all worked very hard on the ball. And I think if they can continue that and then build the team defense in behind it, it's going to be a good defensive team.
They're going to play a lot of guys. You mentioned that early on. How is that good? How is that maybe a troublesome thing?
Well, I think, from a player's perspective, sometimes guys want to stay out a little longer, get into a rhythm. But I think if Jeff's going to be trying to put a little more full-court defensive pressure on, then, guys are going to get a little more fatigued. They're going to need, rest a little quicker. 3
Monarchs in double figures, led by Chauncey Jenkins with 16. Monarchs defeat Virginia Wesleyan 71-57. And now it's off on a road trip to Muncie, Indiana for Ball State and Fayetteville, Arkansas for the Razorbacks of Arkansas. For Dennis Wolf, I'm Ted Alexander for Monarch Media.